think for complaining? I think it's that a habit and a little bit addiction.
I totally agree with you. As the the doctor told regarding this situation, complaint could be a good thing because sometimes you sound like you release your feelings. Your chest is full of things and the so under pressure, and suddenly you complain. This way of they release your feelings, but you have to pay attention because if you just complain every time, every moment because of all of things is becoming boring, and the people start keeping away from you because of that. You go to the restaurant, you go to the or each situation, you just complain. And yeah, sometimes uh, is is really fair because the people complain, but a lot of times it's not regarding a specific thing. Uh, it's just a feeling. Oh, I have to complain because of I feel bad for different reasons, different happens, but is way off the release this depression or something different. So in this case, besides of Brazil, because Brazil unfortunately is weird, the people have to create laws because yeah, suddenly the guy sell a thing for you and unfortunately don't deliver. So, but the a lot of situations complaints sound like addiction.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think when you complain for a result, you complain because you have a pain, you need to complain with the doctor, or you
yeah,
complain with your relative or friend to have an opinion for solve a problem. I think it's totally okay. But
yeah,
if you complain only about complaining, I think you get to down, you get to a boring person, you don't achieve any place, any result,
sure.
nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Um, Regarding question number two, in your opinion, does complaints solve problems or make them worse? Uh, as I told you, I believe that complaint is a necessary thing. Yeah, if you uh, go to the store or another kind of relationship, uh, the things could be improved. Yeah. So sometimes the people don't notice or don't know. Oh, nowadays, lately the guy creates a new product or a new uh, style of commercial thing. I don't know. So the tendency, of the market, and it is sometimes the people don't really know. So in this case, complaint help, but in certain circumstances, complaining became the things worse. Certainly, uh, yeah, the people used to say, the doctors and the other feelings about cortisol, as the psychologist told, or another thing. But sometimes you lose a lot of time just from the same feeling, and yes, suddenly you lose opportunities to let your life better is sound like me. So I believe that there are a line, a border between the good situation and the bad situation. Sometimes you complain and yeah, that's nice because let your life better or another stuff, but sometimes you have to pay attention, particularly nowadays, because it's a complaint tendency on our world, né? Because the people complain a lot. Oh, the man destroy the the environment and other stuff, but I don't separate my trash or another stuff. Sometimes it's just about you, much more about you than the others. Yeah, just you doing some things don't solve the problem. Yeah, but you have this power to try to let your life better doing some things. It's not enough. A lot of times not, but is this situation is on your hands. Another people, you can't help another people to change this kind of feeling. But about you, you could change. So in this case, it's better try to do your best than just complain about the others. And you, Wanda?
Yeah, I totally agree. If you complain for addiction, it's you don't search for solution. You search for people who hear what do you want to complain. It's a habit, and you go out from your house and start to complain in the lift with the all the people that you meet, and it's not good. I think all the time you start to see the dark side of the day. You need to open your mind for the best thing that have in the day. You see birds, you can hear birds singing for you. It's so beautiful. When you take a shower, it's so delicious, and
Yeah,
you need to be grateful because a shower is a so luxury thing,
sure.
because many people don't have water for
Exactly.
drinking, and you take a shower, warm shower is
Yeah,
so luxury. You need to be grateful all the time. And
certain.
when for solving the problem of complaining a lot, you start to be grateful. I think it is the opposite. And grateful is like a light in your life. When you start to can do a effort instead complaining, start to be grateful, and then you can change all your life, your um your seeing for the life. Yeah, it's totally different, people that complaining and people that be grateful.
Yeah, yeah, that's I totally agree. Uh, I know that's it's fair you complain because I don't know, sometimes you go to the store and they don't receive a good treatment or something like that.
Okay, it's
But
different.
it's
You have
yeah,
a reason.
yeah, exactly. For example, I was talking with a classmate from Talk and Talk, and this guy was telling, oh, some people hate me. Not, uh, for example, there are in opinion about this guy is just two options. Take, you have to tell about the problem, or you have to grade this guy with the best grade. For example, 5 stars or grade 5, because you don't like, for example, I don't like. Yeah, but what? What problem? I don't know, but I didn't I just like. So this case is a little weird, né? You have to you have to have an opinion. Oh, my opinion is I it's needed to let these things better in certain aspect. But oh, I don't have right now. I don't have any idea about this how to improve this thing, but I didn't like. So it's terrible things. So in this
Yeah,
case, sometimes the people just grade rate this thing using, for example, 3 stars, and they suddenly don't mention anything. So, in my opinion, is an obligation. For example, there are some websites, for example, Uber, for example, or you hate this guy using 5 stars, and in this case, it's not necessary to put any word, but if you let rate this guy using less than 5 stars, you have to told about it. Oh, I don't like to, for example, the car is not
the
so
smell
good,
of the car.
for example, or something like that. So I believe that is, I totally agree with you, because the people don't lose time. Oh, I just put the 5 stars and that's okay. Another person, oh, I hate, but I don't like to tell a lot of words. So in this case, I just put 3 stars. But I can't, because if you put 3 stars, I have to mention something. So in this case, I just put 5 stars and they don't say anything. So that's really weird in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
Okay, how about number 3? Could you read an answer,
Yeah.
please?
How do you feel after you complain about something?
Sometimes
Uh,
it's a good feeling.
yeah, I don't like to complain. I complain for when I search for a result. I need to complain, like and in a restaurant, for example, if a dish is out salt, for example, I complain. And you can bring me a salt. It's for a result, not for complaining to for complaining. I
Yeah.
don't like it. It's not in my life. I avoid totally
Hmm.
stay in a place for with a bunch of friends only to complain. Complain for the weather, for the clothes, for the server, for everything. I don't like. I complain, okay, is necessary, but search for a result, not for addiction.
Sure.
And you?
Yeah, you talk about it and then think at the same time. For example, oh, Brazilian don't use it to complain. It's not true. Depends on the situation. For example, when talk about soccer, the people fight each other, the people broke things. Unfortunately, go to
But
subway.
do you believe that is only in Brazil? See England, for example.
Is different.
I think football is a different kind of game because
Yeah.
they push ourselves to emotional
Mhm.
stuff.
There are
Really?
problems, but in the past, particular nowadays, there are, but just a few. But in Brazil, that's totally crazy because, for example, I used to make a joke about it. It's not happy, but it's just sometimes I make jokes because, for example, if you go to the subway and the broke glass or something, probably the guys arrest you or put you on the jail. But if you using a team shirt and the, for example, five persons using a football, a soccer team t-shirt, certainly you receive a different perspective. I don't know what happened, but the laws don't reach these guys. I don't know what happened. Uh, and the, for example, when I talk about politicians, it's totally different because the people, uh, for example, a guy, a specific guy, have justice problems, steal something, or I don't know. And then suddenly, after some while, 5 years or 10 years, this guy gets another election. So that's weird, in my opinion. But essentially, on Brazil, I know, but I don't really know. But sometimes important situations, Brazilians don't complain or enough, at least in my opinion, because sometimes is necessary, for example, a mail or something. Oh, in my street, on my street, don't have good service. I don't know, or something like that. And the, for example, I could mention my city, but there are this kind of situation in our country. And the, oh, for example, when you buy a cell phone, the people, for example, uh, try to research about the memory or the processor or the camera and the other stuff. But any person make a question, oh, it's possible to make a call using this cell phone because it's totally intrinsic. It's a common perspective. When you talk about mailers, for example, oh, I let the streets without holes, for example, or I let the garden more beautiful. In my opinion, this kind of situation is an obligation, and I don't vote in this guy because of that. uh, But on Brazil, of course, things like that. Oh, this guy, for example, let my street better because there are a lot of rules, and this guy uh, remove this this situation, let the situation better, for example. So, in my opinion, it's insane, totally crazy. uh. In my opinion, a mailer let try to create more jobs. uh. For example, try to get some industry or a big company to promote employees or something like that. So in this case is weird. So in this case, a Brazilian, in my opinion, complain a lot, but for the wrong reasons. I don't know. Uh, well, let me. You told us I don't think about it, but could you read and answer question number 4?
Number 4, do you think there is a difference between constructive criticism and complaining? Yes, totally. Because, like you said, if you complain with the mayor for a better situation in your city,
For
is
example,
a, for example, is a constructive criticism. You gather with your neighbors to complain with many people to solve a problem. But
hmm,
I is totally totally different that complaining for complaining with
sure.
uh, if you show if you search the people, the correctly people to complain for solving a problem, it's okay. But if you complain with your family, it's for what? For what you complain with your daughter, with your cat?
Yeah.
For nothing. Forget your worst, forget your unhealth, for nothing. You need to complain as an aim. You need to aim and do the complaint for a result. Yeah, for me,
Yeah,
it's totally different.
sure. Yeah, I I agree with you. I tell I told a little thing about it, this topic, and the I don't know. Sometimes the people don't feel well because of the life. Life is harder or something like that, and the but don't complain. Don't complain for your family or on a lot of different situations. And suddenly, I don't know, he, this guy uh, get in a restaurant, for example, and suddenly the waiter receive a lot of bad feelings because of the different situation. I became angry because a lot of different because of the mail or because of my wife or because of a lot of different situations, and suddenly the poor guy waiter or another person receive a lot of uh, negative feelings. I believe that is necessary criticism, constructive criticism, because you could improve any kind of situation. Oh, you studied harder, you became more motivated because of that. But unfortunately, there are people that want to destroy your life because they don't like you, and these suddenly bad words or words have a incredible power. Sometimes the difference into you have a good life and a bad life is regarding you receive a, a so serious criticism and not a constructive. The people just wanted to destroy you. I used to talk with my daughter regarding this situation. You have to have an opinion. You have to l- pay attention how to improve your life, your methods, or another stuff. Yeah, you could pay attention in another person and try to understand the intention from another person. Huh? But it's, for example, a good teacher, a father could help you. But when another person tells something about it, you have to pay attention because it's very common, particularly nowadays, receive uh, just feeling that have to destroy you, but don't have any kind of good feeling on this criticism. That's it.
Yeah, totally agree. There is a sadist person that
Could be.
wants to get the other people worse,
Sure.
wants to
Yeah.
see the other people in a bad situation. And for teenagers is really hard that
Sure.
situation because they bullying all the time,
Yeah.
and it's hard. And the girl or boy that suffer bullying
Yeah.
and don't complain because they don't have a person to complain and to see the solution for the problem.
Yeah.
And it's a hard time for teenagers, and it's a different topic than we talk about, but is important to talk when people don't could complain don't can complain because they don't trust in anyone, and mostly with
Sure.
teenager, and they get the suffer inside of their mind. It's terrible. Get
Yeah.
depression, get suicide. It's terrible.
Unfortunately occurs. Yeah, for example, I was talking with my daughter and he have the most part of the time he have good grades, 10. And suddenly he was graded she was graded with a 90.5, for example. And the another person, another students using to make jokes. Oh, you don't grade using a 10 or something like that. So what kind of feeling this situation could bring for you, or you could this kind of situation help you in something? Not certainly not, because
Yeah, but I think
90.5 and 10 is the same grade, particularly.
But I think if your daughter put a label in her shirt, like I'm a 10 grade person,
Mhm.
she needs to take 10. And
Exactly,
if she take 9.5, she suffer. It's not
exactly,
good for her. She
exactly.
needs to, you need to help her to take off this label. No, I can take the grade that is possible for me in this
Certainly.
time. I do my best, but I'm not the best one.
Yeah. I talk to my daughter regarding the situation a lot of times, particularly every day, but sometimes it's hard to because I don't I didn't I yeah I'm not a good student since I was a child. So in this case, for example, if you have a 7 or some grade next to the 10, I became so happy. And suddenly that's weird. We talk about complaint, but complaint regarding the others, regarding the services. But there is another feeling, auto complaining. This kind of situation is hard, because bringing us because, for example, if you don't I don't want you to receive complaints, so in this case I became isolated. I don't what I don't see the social media, for example, but when we talk about the out complaining, doesn't matter, because if you go to the Amazon forest or another place, your mind, your brain could bring you bad feelings, no? And the is one terrible situation. So in this case, we have to pay attention, and I try to do my best, like a father, try to bring for my daughter good feelings. Oh, don't put yourself under pressure all the time. It's not
Yes,
exactly
yes.
a big
Life is not for
problem.
that.
Oh, if you, for example, if you have a 90.5 grade, is
It's okay.
95% of the grade. For example, if you make a test for any kind of concurso público, for example, a college, you pass in the all of them, because if you grade uh, 95% of proof, for example, for admission on the university, you pass for all of them, including USP and the other stuff, other schools. Uh, that's it. Now, moving to another one. Uh, Number 5. What are the most common topics people complain about it? Uh, I don't know. Maybe I could mention the weather. Oh, it's rain a lot or something. Uh, but I believe that about soccer, about politician, I could mention healthcare, security, soccer, and a politician could be. How about you, Muvanda?
I agree with weather. And the second complaining is about the price of
Yeah,
supermarket, of all the things.
inflation. Exactly.
Yeah, inflation, and complain a lot about husbands and wives.
Exactly.
Complain about daughter or mother-in-law.
Yeah. Mother-in-law is, I believe, that's on the top,
Yeah,
top of
I
the.
think the the most common topic is not for solving anything, is for only complain. And
Exactly.
another person complain more, and the person number one complain, the person number two complain more, and the person number one complain again, and they talk for 1 hour complaining,
Exactly.
complaining, complaining, and say goodbye and go for life without any solution, because the solution is not necessary. Necessary is
Yeah,
complaining.
exactly. Yeah, particular, uh, it's common gossip, né? Is a sound like a complaint. Oh, this guy uh, is not a good husband, for example. I see this
Yeah,
guy,
they have
for example.
another girl there.
Yeah, something like that. I believe that. Because there are gossip is not exactly a complaint, but there are someone that's really talk about criticism or complaints. And arrive at social media topic. Do you think
Okay.
social media has made it
It's
easier?
number
Number seven.
seven.
Yeah.
Okay. Repeat for
The
me.
famous haters, né? It's
Okay.
the incredible raters. Could you read and answer number seven, please?
Okay. Do you think social media has made it easier or harder for people to stop complaining? Why? No, I think it's social media get more and more topics for complaining, and
Became
for
easier.
it became easier, and we have more topics to complain. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, you see in the social media that guy do this, and it's a little bit like you said, gossip mixed with a
sure.
complaining. And this is the best for people addicted in complaining. The best of the topic is that gospel mixed with complaining, and social media get easier to provide many topics for this
Exactly.
kind of conversation. Yes.
Yeah. I don't really understand, for example, raters. Because, for example, I don't really a person that uses social media all the time. I just use social media to know or receive information regarding my friends or my family. Sometimes it's nice. I don't post photos or another stuff regarding my life. Yeah, sometimes I make posts, but not so common. It's just a few moments. But I didn't I don't really understand the situation. The guy got in a social media person. for example, and complain because, for example, uh, the last week I was watching a news regarding Paulo Oliveira, né? Uh, Paulo Oliveira is a so beautiful woman, and the people tell about, oh, is you are a little fat or something like that. I don't really understand uh, why a person
Why?
got in the social media and the let messages for a person. I don't understand. I don't understand. And the people tell bullshit about this person. And the yeah, I when I look at the Paulo Oliveira, I see a beautiful girl. Doesn't
That,
matter if you, for example, oh, uh, is the best thing of the people is not the beauty. It's important in certain perspective, but it's not the best, certainly. And if you, for example, if you are a fat woman, change everything is weird for me. Is really weird. I don't understand. And if you feel or think about it, okay, but you mention for a people, a friend, a close friend, it's wrong, but okay, but you, for example, put on social media where a lot of people could read this thing. I may feel totally crazy if you, for example, if you complain or tell uh, bad thing about a specific person, where in another people, oh, Ricardo mentioned bad words regarding an artist, or doesn't matter which people. And the I I have a certain age, and the social media is not so old. Is a social media, for example, reach all of the people on Brazil, maybe have 10 years, could be a little more. And I don't really understand because in my when I was a kid or a teenager, don't have this kind of thing. And I could observe or notice a lot of people, particular teenagers in the early adults, destroying life sometimes. The, some people became uh, very sad, depression because of evil people, in my opinion. But I don't know what happened. But I'm not a doctor to try to understand. And let's
yeah.
go to the another question, number 8. Uh,
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead. It's your time.
Okay, no. How do you respond when someone complains to you about a problem? As I told you, no, I told for my daughter and try to use the same strategy. I try to analyze well. I try to search for help for another person, and I try to. It's really important this thing, or is just let your life worse. So in this case, I try to make resources on internet, try to read books, try to uh, search opinions from teachers, for example, or professors, depends on the situation, friends, close friends, and try to analyze. If you this thing is a good opportunity to improve my life, I try to assume and I try to work for change the situation. But uh, particularly younger people don't have experience to understand that the another person could be a evil person. uh. But yeah, I try to This kind of situation occurs with me too. It's not exactly because of, oh, I'm an adult, so in this case, I never feel bad because of the complaint or something like that. Certainly. But today is a little better. One day, for example, if you compare with a child or a teenager. But I try to analyze and, okay, thank you for your advice. I try to assume this thing. Doesn't matter if it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. Okay, thanks for your attention. And after that, I try to analyze. That's it. And Giovana,
Yeah. For me, as a dance in my work, I have a lot of patients that
yeah,
uh, came to my come to my clinic to complain, and
yeah,
I used to solve the problem. Is okay, and I try to separate people that want to get an advice, want to get a solution, and people that want only complain. If people search for a solution, I try to advise, I try to help, I try to get a solution in my work or in my neighbor or etc. But if I identify these people like a person that only wants to complain for complaining for
sure.
nothing, and they don't want to hear nothing, only complain, I hear and hear and hear and okay, bye bye, and go my way,
Yeah, that's
and
nice, Chief.
they go their way. Yes, that depends of the situation. Many
Sure,
situations can for us.
exactly. I totally agree. Well, I have to interrupt